Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the FarmHill Cafe. How are you guys doing today? How was your week? What is going on? Yes, and guess what? Yes, I am here early this morning with my FarmHill coffee in hand and ready to go for the day. And the reason I'm coming to you early to this morning is because we're getting ready to go. Yep, guess what? We are going to the Chicago 2022 Coffee Fest. And at that Coffee Fest, we're going to meet some of the top selling brands in the industry. We're going to talk about how to conduct business, suppliers, educators, experts, all from all over. So we're headed to the Coffee Fest, but I did want to bring you this morning's Farm Hill Cafe and the adult cartooning that we do. I wouldn't want the ones and twos of you who watch. Yep, that's what I said. The ones and twos of you who watch to miss this because yesterday, an unprecedented thing happened. Uh, Roe versus Wade and the overturn, you guys. Wow. 50 years. So what does that mean? What does that mean for us? Well, it does mean that it's no longer a constitutional right for women to, get an abortion. And that's included on any subject in the case of rape, in the case of, pedophilia, in the case of, just the rights have been taken away. The constitutional rights have been taken away. So that means the states could outlaw abortion because it's no longer a constitutional right. So they can make it totally illegal. So this will probably go underground. There are still some safe haven states. I believe Chicago is one of them. Um, I know New York City is, of course, trying to letting people know that we're a safe haven state. But what happens in the case of that, of course, there's still a war on drugs in this country, but drugs are still happening. So abortions will still happen. It just won't happen legally. Everything will go underground. And what will happen is the price of those things will skyrocket. Well, that impacts other things as well. It impacts your health as far as birth control and things like that, where you might could get them through your job, you may no longer be able to get them through your job. Definitely, if you have some federal government assistance with health, you won't be able to get that. How does that impact the military? There are a lot of things that this Roe versus Wade case impacts, and we will have to see the repercussions of that. But this is something that has been upheld for 50 years, and now that constitutional right is gone. So it'll go underground for sure. It'll The cost of all of this stuff will be skyrocketed for sure. And there's no longer a control. There may not be any more control mechanisms over it. So that is really serious. As they pull the laws away, some people were celebrating, some people are sad. It depends on your life and what you feel about the decision and the impacts. So what we now look at is a decision that has been made, but what are the impacts or the repercussions of that? That's really what you want to look at. And we just have to see how it unfolds. Where I had read that there are 59 countries that have started reproductive services for women, health services for women in that area, in the area of abortions and things like that. Whereas this is the first time, that a country like ours actually rolled back. So we will see the repercussions of that. It's quite interesting. Some people are mourning, like I said, some people are celebrating. We will just have to see what happens with that. But I'm going to take a sip of my Farm Hill Cafe because it is serious. It is serious. But before that, because I'm only on here for a few minutes, Are you interested in starting a business in the short-term rental space? Are you interested in starting a business in the short-term rental space? If you are, I need you to check this short commercial out. Yes, Andre and his band of merry men and women got together and they want to talk to you about starting the jumping into the space of the short term business, Airbnb, VRBO. There are a number of businesses that you can start in that area. So if you're looking to make more money, increase your income, you want to be there July 13th, and it's in Aurora from 10 to 12. They've got gift basket giveaways, they've got food, they've got prizes, and so much more. It's going to be a great time, you guys. But next, I didn't ask you the question that I want you to think about, did I? Okay. That question is, are you operating in your gifts? Are you operating in your gifts? I'm a believer. God gave us life. God is the creator of all. So with the birth, you have been endowed with certain abilities. Do you even know what those abilities are? Are you operating in your gifts? We're going to get back to that later. But next, I want to talk to you about, and let me take a sip. I'm so excited, you guys, about the Coffee Fest and meeting people from the industry and just learning so much today at Navy Pier. It's going to be so fabulous. I cannot wait. So it starts at 8, and we've got classes all day, different types of industry classes about the business, increasing your business and things like that. But, now that we're talking about coffee, I want to go to T2C2 Sip Nation. Check it out. Yep, real people, real coffee, real lives, you guys. T2C2 Sip Nation, which hosts or which houses FarmHill Cafe. And it also houses Shiro Coffee, a coffee dedicated to our women veterans in the military and also our women business owners. And another event I want to invite you to, I need you to grab a ticket for August 7th, Uncork Vin Noir. Vin Noir means wine in black, you guys. That's exactly what that means. And I need you to get a ticket. Check this out. Yep, you can get those tickets on Eventbrite. It's a women's wine event, and we got a whole new vibe this year. So if you came last year, you can expect for us to be on the next level. It's an outdoor event. We're just, we've got food, we've got family, because we're all a family, and we've just got celebration and honoring those women who served. It's going to be a great event. But did I give you your morning brew? Because I don't think I have. All right. So let's see what the morning brew is saying today. So, morning brew, guess what they're talking about? They're talking about the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade and its tectonic implications for health, business, politics, and society. And I've touched on a lot of those already. So, guess what? A decision has impacts. We need to see that. We won't know the outcome. We know some of the outcomes of the impact of the overturn of that, but on a long scale, we don't know. So we will definitely have to see. But guess what? Whenever there's bad news, really bad news, or really good news, the markets go up. It's crazy. So what happened on Wall Street? You know, the stocks are surged yesterday. All right. They did manage to close out their first winning week this month. Lifting investor spirits was a relatively obscure data point that showed consumer expectation of inflation over the next year eased up. So Nasdaq, S&P, Dow, they were all up. So yesterday was a good day on the market. So morning brew, basically it's an entire page about Roe v. Wade eliminated. The U.S. has been eliminated after the abortion in the U.S. has been eliminated after nearly 50 years. Remember, it's no longer a constitutional right to exercise to get an abortion any longer in the United States. Yesterday, the conservative majority Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, ruling that strikes down the federal protections for abortions and punts abortions regulations to the states. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this, but they're coming not only for that, they're coming for same-sex marriages, they're coming for anything that people consider liberal rights or other rights that are not conservative. I saw that in an article that I read yesterday. So they're not going to stop there. They're not going to stop there. Maybe not for a while, but they're not planning on stopping as long as as long as you have a conservative majority. So let's see what else is going on. The Supreme Court scrapping of Roe contrasts with the public's view prior to the ruling. Majority of Americans, ranging between 60 and 70%, said they didn't want Roe v. Wade to be overturned. At the same time, less than 30% of Americans think that abortion should generally be legal after the first trimester, according to a Gallup poll that they did. So do they have the pulse of America? Is that what Americans really want? And why now? With so many other things that are going on, so many other things that this country needs, why pinpoint that? Why are we focused on that? There are so many other things that this country needs, but this is what we chose to focus on. It's just quite interesting. So like you have states that are divided. Like I said, you're going to have safe haven states. You have states that are going to celebrate it. There are already states that have outlawed abortions. Abortions were banned in 8 states yesterday. So that's Arkansas, Louisiana, and Missouri. They were already prohibited, and Missouri, and were already prohibited in Oklahoma. So they were already working on that. What happened to Planned Parenthood? What happens to Planned Parenthood clinics? Those clinics will more than likely be closed, but I don't know what the future of Planned Parenthood looks like. We'll have to see. But like I said, On the other hand, abortion rights are likely to remain protected in 21 states, 11 of which are actively expanding the scope. So the states have all the power in here. It's just not a constitutional right anymore. The states still have all of the power. CEOs have some big decisions to make. So, yeah, so Morning Brew is just today, that is the only thing that's on the mind of Morning Brew is the Roe v. Wade overturn. So I'm going to get out of here. And the reason why I've got to get out of here is because we are going to the coffee fest. I'm so excited. But back to the question, are you operating in your gifts? I want you to think about that for this week. What are my gifts? And am I operating in them? Some people you can just see, especially when you look at athletes or you look at someone that's just really smart, you can see the gift on them. It's just on them. It's just in them to do it. But some people's gifts, they have to work on it. It takes time. But just because you've been endowed or blessed to have a gift doesn't mean there's not work to do. So if you don't know what your gift is, I invite you to challenge yourself to figure out what those gifts are. And remember what I said, it's going to take some work to really bring those gifts out. If you have it naturally, if it doesn't naturally ooze, even a person like Steph Curry or Michael Jordan back in the day, even they had to work inside their craft with the gifts that they've been to get better. It's no different for us. And I use them as athletes because it's so easy to understand. It's so easy to understand. So you've got those same Michael Jordan level gifts too. You just have to find out what it is. And it takes some inner thought, some inner thinking, prayer, and to bring them out. That is it, you guys. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Again, I'm coming to you early, early, early for Morning Brew. And as always, be brilliant, be you, be blessed. Bye bye.